family? Back again for another Dag Life podcast. Today's guest, very special human being. He is an awesome friend, an amazing husband, an incredible father.
You're gonna make me cry.
Incredible father. This guy is A1 top tier. But most importantly, an incredible human being, Mr. Favio Ortega.
Thank you.
What's up, dude?
That's probably one of the best things I've ever had.
Shit, I'm here all week, bro. How are you?
I'm gonna hire you just to like walk around with me and just make me feel good, bro.
I don't know if you can afford me.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah,
What's up, dude?
Chilling, man.
I'm pumped to have you on. It's been a long time coming. We started this 2 years ago, and 2 years later, finally get you in the chair.
And I told you this at the beginning. It's not my thing, but I feel like this year it's definitely a focus for me is to get out there for various reasons.
Right.
And I figured, hey, what a better spot to start than at home.
Love that.
So,
man,
yeah, you're my kickoff, bro.
I'm so pumped just because I love having great people in the chair with me, but also because like obviously being friends, love a seamless conversation. And I think we're gonna learn a little bit more about Favio Ortega from a life perspective, but also let's dive into real estate first because that's predominantly why we're here for amongst other things. So for those of you that don't know you, introduce yourself a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your real estate journey and how long you've been in the game and some of your focus points and the highs and lows.
For sure. So my name's Favio Ortega. I joined real estate in April of 2026. Initially started as a part-time agent with a very small brokerage. There were just two people. I was the third one that joined there. I got started because I bought my home and I saw what the guy did. I really enjoyed what he did. And I was like, hey, like I'm thinking of getting my license. He said, come on over. Great guy, but I don't think they were ready to start a team yet. 6 months in, I almost saw myself out of the business. Damn. To be quite honest with you, it was tough. It's a tough business, man. Everybody thinks I came from corporate, had a salary, had a company car, had all the benefits paid. I was comfortable, right? But I was tired of the corporate politics, so that's what got me into real estate. So going back to like after the first 6 months being licensed, didn't close anything, and I almost said like, hey, you know what? I'm going back to corporate. But then I got an unexpected phone call from a high school. I wouldn't even say friend. It was an acquaintance. Yeah. Really. Like, we knew of each other. Yeah. But we weren't friends. His name's Ryan Ponce. Shout out Ryan Ponce.
RP, what up, homie?
Yeah, he continues to be my mentor to this day, man. There's days I still call him, and that guy bails me out of a lot of stuff. But he called me and he said, hey, man, I heard you got your license. What are you doing? Et cetera, et cetera. I was like, hey, this is kind of what I'm trying to do. And without any expectations, he said, hey, if you like, I can help you. We'll set up a 1 weekly accountability call and, just kind of get you going. Right. We tried that. 3 months in, closed 3 deals.
Sick. One a month,
bro. And it was like, focus on your SRI, focus on people that you know, that already know you, like, and trust you. So I got in with that, but it still wasn't enough. Right. Again, I had a pretty good salary right out of college. And again, I almost saw myself going back to corporate. And he said, hey, if you go back to corporate, and this stuck with me, you can't be half in and half out. Like either you're all in or just leave.
Burn the bridges.
Like pretty much he said either you go all in or the moment you go back to corporate, I can guarantee you're not out of real estate. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, if you like, come on over to our office. We have a position open for property management. And, that way you have a little bit of like steady income and you still be around real estate. Right. So that's what I did. I went over, I did property management for 6 months. He continued to mentor me and man, it's been up ever since.
Yeah, life-changing.
100%. And I'm so glad he told me that. And I tell people the same thing is if you go into real estate, don't just dabble in it.
Like, you got to commit.
You have to go. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
And we see that all the time. Like we again, right? We tell people all the time, like especially people that join our team, it's like, hey, this is what you got to be prepared for. We do typically say that 3 to 6 months of like be prepared, where the first 3 to 6 months is really just hammering phones, the legwork, the foot traffic, like really digging deep and understanding that it might take 6+ months until you can get your first deal. However, when you set yourself up for success and you're in the right rooms and you have opportunity, it can come a little bit sooner if you're in the right rooms.
100%. And that's probably my biggest takeaway and my biggest advice to anybody that says, hey, I'm thinking about getting my license, join a team. Yeah. Join a team or find a mentor that's willing to mentor you throughout the beginning. Right. So then, once I joined the brokerage, I did property management. Eventually, Ryan ended up starting his own team. I went over with him and we went from a small boutique brokerage that crushes in downtown over to Windermere. We're there for a little bit. That Windermere kind of failed in downtown, unfortunately, and then we left to Compass, and I loved it there. Yeah. Compass is a great brokerage. I mean, they really know what they're doing over there. Mm-hmm. The resources, the tools. But I feel like because we're a team of 3, I feel like I was looking for something different, right? But when there's 3 people, to your point of like being surrounded by people that do things certain way, that's what I was doing. I was trying to imitate his style, and it worked to a certain extent, but we're still very different people. I wasn't able to like kind of flip the switch of like taking what he was teaching me and making it my own. Right. So a lot of the things weren't hitting the way that I wanted to. So I kind of plateaued in terms of production. And after that, I kind of started exploring different avenues of hey, maybe a different team might make a little more sense. Sat down with him, and again, dude, like great guy, no hard feelings. He told me like, hey, dude, like that sounds like a great move. Yeah. And then that's how I found out. Actually, Gil, we used to be in the same office, and then Gil kind of brought me into this. I had a little issue with Ali on a transaction, and we won't go into too much detail. That was prior to me joining DAG, but that's actually one of the reasons why I joined DAG, because, man, I was going hard. Yeah. I was going hard at it, like, you know, like, oh, we're going to get lawyers involved. Like, just kind of like what I was told to do, right? Yeah. What I was taught to do. And she handled it perfectly. And I'm like, okay, somebody's coaching her on the other side how to handle this differently than I was handling it. Not saying that one way was correct and one way was wrong. It was just different. Right. So that's kind of what intrigued me. I came in, I sat out probably like 6 role plays. Because I was always against like, there's no way, like 100 agents, I probably get lost in the numbers. Like they don't care about like people like that. We're all number. Man, I came in, I sat here and I was like, okay, I like that, but I don't know if it's real. Like, they'll probably print off the facade. Second time around, oh yeah, these people are real. Third time, then I sat with Dean and Afro, like in a closed table, had a conversation. Oh, these people are for real. Like they really do mean what they say. Yeah. You know, it's not just, they're not just trying to convince me to join. I don't even think they asked me to join, now that I remember. We were just talking, you know, and I really like that. And then the fact that I was exposed to different ways of thinking, different personalities, that made me a better agent. Because now I'm more prepared to deal with different situations depending with who's on the other side.
Right, and it's so powerful that you said that. And of course, from a transaction perspective, thank God it was Allie who was on and not some other people on the team, dude. Because it may not have been the same experience.
She was a Jedi Master, bro. Yeah. And then I came into the room, I'm like, you role played everything you told me, didn't you? She's like, yep. I'm like, oh.
Dude, that's so. I'm glad you brought it up, right? Because I scream DAG from the rooftops. It's all I've known since I've been in real estate. Like, thank God I landed with DAG, right? I went through the 3 to 4 interviews during COVID where it was like, get your Excel spreadsheet of 50 clients, read this book by this person, do this, and then call someone to get your license. 4 calls in a row, these same exact scripts, and I was like, man, that was just brutal. And then obviously I got introduced to Allie, got introduced to the team, and same thing. Like I was like, I didn't know what I was getting into, right, coming into real estate, but one thing I learned at 24 years old was the difference between a boss and a leader. Mm-hmm. And it's a dichotomy that most people will never understand. And I had one conversation with Dean and Afro, and within 5 minutes I said, I don't care what else you have to say, just let me sign up. And it was one of those moments where it was like, you just felt like you were in the right place, which you clearly felt. And dude, long journey. How long have you been licensed now? Practicing?
This is my 9th year.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade. And again, I've only been part of 2 teams for the same reason, right? Yeah. It's 1, I'm loyal, and then 2 is I really, like once I find, to your point, a leader that I enjoy being around and I can actually feel like I'm learning from them, I like to stick around because, you know, there's no way that you can learn everything that they know, right? Every time I have a conversation with them, it's something new. Plus, here I've been able to have opportunities that I feel like I would have somewhere else. Hence, you know, full circle real estate. Like they allowed me and my best friend to like do our own thing within the team, which is amazing. You know, there's a lot of leaders out there that wouldn't like let that fly. Like,
and we have a few of those. Yeah, we have a few of those on the team, right? That's the team within the team where you still operate as your independent brand.
Your own, exactly. Your own brand. Like a lot of times, this big like teams kind of get so caught up about name, like my name on everything, my colors and everything, my brand and everything, which is great because they built that. Yeah. But that's something that I respect about Dean and Afro, where like, hey, yeah, it'll be cool if you do it, but you don't have to.
Right.
Like, put your name out there.
And again, dude, this is something that I learned at 24 with my first ever like mentor and like actual like leader from an corporate background, right? Jersey, Vegas, and then San Diego. Howard Weiss, number one mentor that I've ever had, starting from when I moved to Vegas 10 years ago. And one of his things was two quotes: "Great leaders create great leaders." And then your job for somebody who's trying to grow into a field is find a mentor and then become a mentor.
100%.
And which an environment like DAG has allowed us to both flourish as leaders and grow and elevate into mentors ourselves. So kind of with like transitioning from just being obviously property management into realtor to starting your own team, talk about some of the challenges and some of the growing pains of that transition into building your own team and a different course of real estate that you're pursuing last year and this year, which is flipping.
So it's funny, right? Because when you are thinking about getting into real estate, you have this vision and it looks very easy, right? And then the team, I remember 6 years into this, or 7 years into this, when we decided to start our own team, it was the same thing.
Right.
The idea of it is great. You think it's going to be easy because I already know how to do that. Oh, I can teach this, no problem. But there's a lot of challenges that come with it. And I would say the biggest challenge for me has been time. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I care so much about seeing people win. I want to pour into them. But at the same time, I also need to pour into my own business.
Right.
I need to pour into being a husband. I need to pour into being a father. Like there's a lot of things that I need to pour into where I need to be mindful of where I spend my time. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of been the biggest challenge, to be quite honest, because I do want to see the win. And man, we have great people.
Yeah.
We have really good people, and most of them are fairly new. But man, I'm excited for them.
Yeah,
I feel like they're about to take off for sure.
And I think we have that sentiment feeling about so many people on the team, right? And it's you get to see the growth, especially one of the things I've been most prideful about since I've been on the team now 5 years this month. Yep. Is the retention year after year, the amount of agents that come into the home and stay. Yep. Right, and in an industry like real estate, there's so much turnover, left and right, right? So we see it all the time. But I still want to stick on some of these challenges with time, right? A husband, a father, you're running your own business, you're leading as a team lead, you lead the team, you're number two every year between you and Allie, and obviously it's a fun competition. How do you manage that time, especially with two little ones?
I don't, dude. I wish I could tell you, like, you know, sometimes you hear people talk like, oh, this is what I do, and like, I just go with it. Yeah. Like, I try to prepare as best I can. Mm-hmm. So I planned for the best. I prepare for the worst, but I deal with whatever comes out of that. Yeah. You know, like, hey, like I'm not gonna sit here and complain. Like, if I have to work 9 to midnight because that's when my kids go to bed, and that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what I've been doing. Right. Like, I just been finding ways to make things happen.
Right, and one way or another, you're gonna make it happen.
100%.
Right. So many people get caught up in this mindset of like, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. Whereas you just have to accept the challenge and move forward and try to deal with it. And I'm sure it helps having an incredible life at home.
So if you were to ask me, like, hey, what would you attribute like your success to, or how are you able to do this? Because mind you, I started a flip company last year too, and we had 7 flips, which is for first time flip, we're pretty successful. But we started that from scratch, right? My number one thing is the support system. There's a 0 chance that I would be able to do what I do without the support system. Obviously, it starts with my wife. Of course, we have so many people that contribute to that. Mm-hmm. Right? Albert was a huge part of that. Like, he took on a lot of things that, again, I wouldn't be able to do by myself. Right. Man, my mother-in-law, my brothers, siblings, like the support system. I'm truly blessed with the people that I have around me.
And I think that's one of the most important life lessons that anyone can learn is the people that you surround yourself with will be the very people that help you get to the top. Because they truly want to support you and see you win, right? Yeah. So I think having the right people around you, proximity is power, you know, being in the right rooms and having the right opportunities, so it helps all of us. Yep. And there's a lot of people, I was this way 10, 15 years ago where I'm going to do it all on my own. I don't need anybody. And there's 4 questions I think people have a lot of time asking or saying, right? I don't know, or 4 statements. I don't know, I'm sorry, I was wrong, and I need help. I need help has always been mine. But for the last 5 years, I've been able to ask that more and more, where my life has just compounded tenfold. But obviously, you have enough help where you obviously understood that early on, where it's like the people around us can help me succeed.
Not only that, but they know me well enough. Right. They know I won't ask. Yeah. I have that same issue, like kind of a control freak. But they'll kind of just step in because they've been around me for so long. Like, they know, okay, he's about to tap out on this. Like, let me help him. Like, oh, I know he hates doing this.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it for him.
Yep.
Or hey, I know he hates going to this stuff. I'm just gonna attend for him. Like stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I didn't ask them, but they knew it. It's like, got you, man.
They got you. Dude, that's so important. I think that gets so lost with so many people of like how to make sure you do have the right people around you. And when you don't, or you can identify quickly that you have the wrong people around you, how do you move on from them? And I think that's a big challenge that a lot of people have.
Dude, I've been blessed on not having to ever do that.
That's great.
I've never had to like put a boundary or anything. Like, I feel like because of the way I operate, because of the way I move, I'm very black and white. So I've never had to make a choice myself. People kind of make their own choices, right? Because they know, like, oh, if I do this, I already know what's gonna happen with him. If I say this, I already know what's gonna happen with him. Like, it's never had to come from me. Yeah, and it's I'm glad you brought that up because up until about 3-5 years ago, I was the opposite, where like I gave too much, where people started taking advantage of that. But for the last 3-5 years, my boundaries are so set to where it's like you get one fuck up and then you're out of the circle, right? But again, kind of leading into no love lost. I still love you, but
for sure.
I just gotta protect me.
Yeah, it's being able to have character judgment of other people is like a superpower, 100%. And it's something that I take ownership of, especially like building relationships the way I believe I do. But with let's kind of talk about like the flipping, right? So a very successful first year flipping 7. Talk to me about like one, what spawned that for you, and then what's it look like for you this year? What do those goals look like?
So what spawned that for me? It's funny. Me and Ali were sitting in the conference room right after, I think it was our business planning from 2024, and it was just her and I just kind of
into 2025.
Into 2025.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I think it was
into 2024.
Into 2024. Yeah. It was just her and I just kind of talking. I think that's the first year that she had. I beat her that year. I was top producer that year, and then she's kind of like, oh, finally somebody took me out. It was like by like half a deal, maybe or like one deal. It was a big.
And I remember she presented the award to
me. Correct. Right. So then we kind of stuck behind and we were talking, and we were talking about each other's goals. And she's like, man, like one of my goals this year is to wholesale a property. I'm like, dude, one of my goals is to flip one. That's it. Like a month or two later, she's like, Fabio, guess what? I'm like, what? I got an off market. Really? Where? IB. I love IB. I used to live in IB for a while. I'm like, cool. She gave me the details. Brand new flipper, first time. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. I must have changed the plan on her like 6 times, bro. And I'm surprised she didn't fire me. Like, she's like, dude, you don't know what you're doing. Let me take this to somebody that knows what they're doing. But I don't think she knew what she was doing either. So we both figured it out. Worst flip I could have done. Everything that
it was a pretty shitty house that you took on.
It was a project that an experienced flipper should have taken on.
Correct.
You know, like it was definitely not for a newbie. However, I'm grateful that I took it.
Yeah. And
the reason why is even though it took 9 months, and even though everything, Murphy's Law, bro, anything that will go wrong did.
Yeah.
I learned so much.
Yeah.
I learned so much, and because of that, that's what helped me, I feel, have the 2025 that I had.
Yeah, and I think it's important because it's the same thing we tell the agents, right? It's like your first deal, we all would love your easy first deal, but if you have a difficult first deal, that first one that's easy is going to feel like a breeze.
And I could have quit. I could have said, hey, you know what? Like that was too much stress, not worth the money, not worth the time. But even though it was really stressful and it got scary a couple times, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun, and then that kind of that's what planted the seed. And then my very second one, Rich and the team. That's the thing. I've been able to have the connections here in the team that have helped me have the year that I had.
Right.
To be honest, I attribute that to Dag to 100%.
Out of those 7 flips, how many were
team?
Yeah, we're team.
Ali, Rich, Shaden, 3. 3 were team.
It's awesome. Opportunity and access.
And then I've had other opportunities,
right.
You know, that people have brought me on that unfortunately haven't been able to make work. And then I have one with Summer right now. But Denise has brought me a couple of deals too. So, man, Lindsay brought me a really good one that just went pending today that I left her on red by accident.
Oh.
And I texted her immediately like, oh, you were onto something on this one. But so now I'm being a lot more careful. But going back to kind of like the second one, Rick brought on to me. And I was a lot more conservative this time around because of what I've learned in the first one.
Right.
But this one was a total opposite. Like, it exceeded what both him and I thought that we could sell the house for. And after that, that was like a unicorn.
This was the cul-de-sac one, right?
This is the one in River Creek. Yep.
Yeah.
The one in River Creek. One, it was in an area that I love, East
Yep.
Chula Vista, and two, newer home, kind of like those that cookie cutter family home that
Right.
everybody wants,
Yep.
right? It had everything. And man, we hit it out of the park. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm hooked. And then
Snowball effect.
snowball.
That's awesome.
And then I did one every other month after that.
That's sick.
You know, and now 2026, I did 7 last year. My goal this year is 12, so I want to do one a month. I have one under construction right now. But here's the fun thing, right? Like, as we were preparing for this year, my wife and I, because she's very involved in this too, and my mother-in-law is my project manager now. We were talking about like, hey, look, we had a really good 2025. We didn't lose any money. As I talked to more people, a lot of flippers lost money in 2025. Get ready for us to eventually have one that we'll lose money on. Get ready for us to have one where we have to deal with the city, and like a couple things that hey, get ready for.
Going back to that preparation.
They're all happening right now though. At the same time, dude. I have one that has not been sold that I thought was gonna fly off the shelf.
Spoke that into existence, bro.
But again,
It's
we're
prepared.
taking it as a lesson learned.
Correct.
Because the more and more I talk to people that have been doing this for longer, it's like, hey, that's inevitable. The more you do, the more you're gonna face this. Get it out of the way early on in your process because it's only gonna make you better.
100%.
Right. So I'm dealing with, hey, there's a potential loss on this one. It is what it is. Cut your losses, move on. And hey, the city came on this one, and let's learn how that process is.
Right. Okay.
So
again, learning process, but that comes with the growth and the success.
we
and
welcome
all the
that.
things. Yeah.
We welcome that,
You
man,
have to.
because again, it's only going to make it better.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad it's happening early on because I'll be able to rebound.
Dude, that's awesome. And from like a flip perspective, you obviously had those 12 goals for this year. Talk to us about Full Circle. What's the outlook look like for Full Circle this year?
What's a what?
The outlook for Full Circle, like growing your team that compounding,
So Albert and I started Full Circle in 2024. It was something that him and I always talked about, and we didn't really get going into getting agents into the team because we didn't want to bring agents on without us at least having an understanding of what the team was supposed to look like.
Okay.
Hey, here are the resources that we provide. Here's the mentorship that we provide. Here are the lead sources that we provide. So we took about almost a year to recruit our first agent. Probably 8 months to recruit our first agent. And she came in and she crushed. Like I think within the first 4 months she had like 5 deals.
Sick.
And then she went out and opened her own business. And hopefully I can get it back. But the goal for this year is everybody has that number that Gil keeps throwing out there, like 10 mil. Right? Hey, if I can sell 10 million in real estate, that means I'm a established realtor and I can do this full time.
Right. You can have sustainability from that, right? That's your foundation.
Yeah. So everybody's striving for that.
Love that.
And I think everybody came into the team probably July, August of last year. So they're heading into the first 6 months, 7 months into really understanding what real estate is. So I'm excited for the 2026.
Nice.
So as a team, we have a goal of 50 mil.
Sweet.
My numbers included into that. And we have a couple accolades that we want to accomplish along the way too.
Dude, it's so inspiring to see people being able to grow, but also still have the ability to change themselves.
Oh, dude.
And you see so many time in this industry and in any other industry where it's like, yeah, you want to grow, but you're so stuck on change.
Mm.
And unfortunately, that's obviously not the way you go in an industry like real estate where it's changing every day.
Yeah.
Right. So as we're talking about change and growing your team and us growing the team, obviously we have our own team goals, right? From when you first got into real estate 9 years ago to now, what has been the biggest lesson that you've learned about changing with the industry?
That's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of lessons that I've learned along the way, but I would say that the biggest takeaway is always stick to the basics because the basics work.
Yep.
In any market, nurture your people, stay true to yourself. Don't just because you need to check, don't do something that's out of character.
Just to get money.
Just to get money. Stick to your who you are. Doesn't matter if it gets tough. Stick to who you are because you're probably gonna see it through.
Mm-hmm.
And the feeling of sticking out of who you are, it's not gonna be worth whatever paycheck I got you.
Yeah.
Right. So loving your people, stick to who you are, and surround yourself with winners. The last thing you want is to surround yourself with somebody that has I don't want to say loser mentality, but victim mindset, limited beliefs.
Yep.
Like get away from those people as fast as you
The
can.
ones that complain about the market is why they're not being successful.
Exactly. Like, oh, I had a bad year because of the market.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a bad year because my lead sucked. Like, get away from those people as fast as you can.
Yeah, and you talk about that mentality, but last year was a down market overall, but we had a record-breaking year across the board for the team.
As a team, as an individual, like, I mean, again, going back to surrounding myself with winners, right? Like, and the shit talking.
Yeah. It's healthy competition.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So, like, that's my biggest thing. I've been blessed enough to build a business where every year, regardless of what the market's doing, my bottom line has improved.
Right.
Whether that's by me tweaking on what I spend on, or me adding a lead source, or me tweaking something, year over year since I started this career, I've been able to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and that's important, right? Because you know how to compound that business. Going back to, I kind of want to go back to younger Favio, right? 18-year-old Favio. He's sitting in the room with us right now, and you know the path and journey you've had to this point and where you're at this point in your life. What's one piece of advice you want to give him right now?
Man, 18-year-old Favio was fun, man. I was going out, going to TJ, having a great time. What's one advice I would give him? Oh man, it's tough because like I've always had this vision that this is where I was gonna be, and then maybe not as a realtor. The career didn't matter.
Right.
I was gonna get here some one way or another.
Yeah. I
was gonna marry a beautiful girl. I was gonna have healthy, beautiful children. I was gonna have a house that I love, and I'm there. So there's no advice that I can give that kid because, man, that kid knew what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he fucking stuck with it.
Yeah, I just got the chills, bro.
Yeah.
I just got the chills. So It's one of those moments where it's like, I made it. Whatever happens from here, I'm good. I'm happy. I made it. And I think that is so important and so powerful because so many people have this picture in their head of like, they're always chasing and raising the bar and moving the goalposts. And I have that problem at times, but I'm at a very peaceful point in my life because I'm at the best point in my life that I've ever been. I don't have everything I don't have the wife, I don't have the children, I don't have the house, I don't have everything that I want yet. But I say yet because it's coming soon.
100%.
And man, power to you.
Thank you
for getting everything that you want.
Thank you.
And more, dude. And honored to be a friend, honored to have seen the growth from a leadership perspective and a business perspective, and just excited for where you're going.
Appreciate that, man. And I want to double down on that because I think that's kind of what gives me peace of mind sometimes where, hey, things might not be going the way that I want them to go. Hey, maybe I didn't reach a goal that I really wanted to reach. But as long as I have my family, as long as I have a roof over my shoulder, food on my table, man, I can rebuild everything else.
Yeah.
They're healthy, they're happy. Dude, I can care less what's happening around that. Like, as long as they're good and I'm good, I'll rebuild.
I can go to zero tomorrow and
I'll
rebuild in 90 days.
I can lose everything I have. And as long as they're around and they're healthy and happy, man.
That's all that matters.
Dude.
Perspective. Perspective is powerful. And that's kind of leading me into the last thing I want to touch on. Everything you've built, all the happiness, all the love, all the success, everything that you've seen at this point. One day, we're all going to have our time. Mm-hmm. When we look down that road and it's all said and done, and hopefully more is done than actually said, what does Favio want his legacy to be at the end of the day?
I haven't really thought too much about this one, but one of my biggest fears is not being there to see my kids grow up. Like that, the moment my son was born, that was one thing. And I think that kind of goes in line with, I have to live every day and try to be present for them because, I mean, dude, I can go away at any point, right? So I want them to remember me like, hey, not only did he care to provide, but he was also there for us. So I guess if you say like, hey, well, what do you want? He was a great father, like a great father. Like I want them to know that.
There's no better spot to end than there.
Oh, 100%.
So I'll leave it at that. Man, I love you. I appreciate you.
Too, man.
That was fun. We're gonna do this again soon, and dude, I'm so pumped for you for this year.
I'm so excited, bro.
Yeah,
it's only up from here.
It's gonna be good. That's it. Only up. Thank you guys for checking out another episode, Dag Life Podcast. Favio Ortega.
Thank you for having me, man.